Hello everyone. So we are going to talk about our classroom floor plan and the 10 centers that are included in it. So this center right here is our block center, and what students are going to learn in this center is social emotional skills, physical skills, and team building skills as well. In this, we want students to work on stacking blocks, how to share, how to build things together, and overall just working on them different skills with building. We want students to learn the different levels of play, which is the manipulation, mastery, and then eventually the meaningful level of play. We want students to work well together because it is so important in older grades for students to learn how to share and know how to work well with others. And so it is important for us to teach them that younger, so that way they will do well in school when it comes to sharing. The next one we are going to talk about is our Large Motor Center. Our Large Motor Skills Center is a center that is developmentally appropriate because it helps children get physical exercise and it helps them focus in the other subjects. So when students have a little bit of movement during the day, they are able to focus on subjects such as math, reading. And when students are able to move around as much, they may not have that attention span. So being able to dance or play or go down a slide or even just balance really helps them. It is important for them because without dancing and jumping, they get really bored really easily. And especially in preschool, children seem to get bored very, very quickly, and their attention spans just aren't quite ready yet for them to have to sit at tables for long periods of time. So by incorporating a large motor center, students are able to get their wiggles out in order to have more attention for the activities that we will do. This is our listening center. For our listening center, students will have different CDs. They will reenact stories that they may hear. They will listen to stories from the TV pictured there. And they will be able to sit in them chairs and also look at books. And overall, it's just a great way to incorporate listening into our curriculum. For our listening center, children will develop phonological skills and listening skills as well. Some of the materials that they'll have is CDs, board games, puppets, and they will use pretend phones in order to make pretend phone calls, which can also help them learn listening skills as well when they talk through pretend phones and have a conversation with one another. It is important for preschoolers to become good listeners because when they become good listeners in preschool, it kind of helps them have better listening skills when they get into higher grades such as kindergarten or first grade. Our next center is our writing center. Our writing center is a great place. It has a whiteboard and it has all them little tables, and all the bins have different manipulatives to teach them about writing. So what students are going to learn in this center is they are going to learn how to correctly use a writing utensil. Many children go into kindergarten not knowing how to correctly hold a pencil or a marker or anything, and this force of habit really, really is hard to fix when children are doing it for so long and don't realize that they're doing it. By helping children learn how to hold a writing utensil correctly in preschool, they are able to know how to correctly hold it in kindergarten, which helps them to write their letters easier, their numbers, and so on. Some of the writing activities we will do is we will learn how to start writing our letters in shaving cream, and we'll overall just do really fun activities incorporating writing. We also think that this is important because it helps children to start learning their letters. Sometimes it can be hard in kindergarten when students have never been introduced to letters at all, and it just makes it really hard for them to, catch up to their classmates who may be well ahead and know some of their letters. But if they've never been introduced to it, then it makes it a lot harder. So when we teach students about letters and numbers and overall just introducing it by pictures and allowing them to start trying to write, it makes it easier for the upper grades. We want children to at least attempt to do this, even if their writing skills is just drawing a picture, or, if they can write their letters, that's great, but it's not required. All right, this next center is our dramatic play center. And for this center, it has babies, and it has a costume section. It has a mirror right here. There's a refrigerator, and then there's like another little kitchen area. And there's also a table in this area as well. The purpose of this area is to really encourage children to be creative, and there's going to be different costumes of different job roles, like a police costume, a firefighter costume, and so on. By doing this, it helps children learn different job roles, which is extremely important because it teaches the importance of different jobs. And they will also learn real life skills as well, such as using money in a cash register, how money is used, and it will encourage students to use social skills and use their imaginations, which is extremely important at a young age. During our drama section, they will learn problem-solving skills, real-life skills, and social skills. There's a pretend kitchen, baby dolls, register, the different job costumes, and we plan to kind of incorporate different things in this section at different times, just so they don't get uninterested. We want them to stay interested in this section and be able to use their imaginations to the fullest. Students learn so much during this section. It is important for children to learn real life skills in order to see how jobs work and that type of thing. So this section right here, it has a sink, and it has all this other stuff. It has a table, and it has different bins where stuff goes. But this is our art center. So what is at our art center is children are going to learn how to be creative. They're going to learn fine motor skills. And overall, they're just going to get to use their imaginations. The materials included in this are paper, paint, crayons, and many other materials that are associated with art. This is developmentally appropriate because it helps children learn fine motor skills and independence. This center also allows them to get more familiar with holding writing utensils. Like we said in the writing center, this is extremely important for young children. We want children to learn how to be creative and how to build things on their own. So this center really is just fun, and it allows them to use their imaginations and build fun things, such as, any picture they want to. Because even if it is just scribbles to us, it has meaning behind it to them, and it is important for us to understand that they are actually building pictures, even if we don't understand what it is. They do. This is our classroom library. And for our classroom library, it's going to teach children about print concepts, learning through pictures, how to hold a book properly, and it'll help them build interest for reading. At a young age, it is important to read to children, use read alouds, but also independently let them look at books. In preschool, we want to start trying to introduce them to different print concepts, and we want to encourage them to look at pictures and be able to talk about different topics, and overall just get a feel for reading. At a young age, if we can get children to enjoy reading, then they have a better chance of enjoying reading later on. Many kids come into preschool not being able to read or not ever being read to, which later on causes a lot of issues in their reading skills, in their comprehension. So I think that this section automatically encourages them to build reading comprehension, problem-solving skills, and so much more. Reading opens so many doors for students, and a classroom library is extremely important for all these reasons. All right, for this next center, this is our music center. And for our music and dance center, it focuses on helping children understand musical instruments, and it teaches them how to get their wiggles out in order to have more focus. Music can open a lot of doors. It teaches them creativity, and music can even teach them about different cultures as well. In this section, we want to incorporate different musical cultures as well as different instruments that may be used different places. We want to encourage them to move around and build different skills when it comes to movement. this section is extremely important, like the large motor skills part, because preschoolers need to be able to move around and overall just get to know each other. And in this music center, I think that children are able to do a lot, and they're able to learn about a different instrument every week, and it can change as needed. This next section is our math center. And as you know, students need to learn math. You know, they're going to have to do math throughout high school, middle school, elementary school. And so, you know, teaching them math in preschool is important. It is important to at least introduce them to different objects that they can count with and start encouraging them to use their fingers to count. At this section, we want to encourage children to use different patterns, different blocks. We want to be able to use blocks as manipulatives and use different objects. And we want them to be able to start recognizing numbers, because in kindergarten, they're going to start learning that stuff. They're going to learn how to count with objects and different numbers to count to. And it just makes it a lot easier if they start learning this in preschool. Introducing them to math is extremely important, and they need to know this for later on. And our last center is our science center. It has a kidney-shaped table, and this is actually our sensory bin. And then this is some of our other bins for our experimenting. And this would be the bins for all of our stuff to go on. So in this section, students are going to learn a variety of different things. It is appropriate for students because it teaches them how to think, how to ask questions, and overall formulate solutions to their questions. We really want children to learn how to hypothesize, how to find solutions, how to experiment, and so much in the science stuff. So for this one, there's going to be magnifying glasses. They're going to have a sensory table, and they're going to be able to use their magnifying glasses to look at different things, such as like bugs or leaves or anything that we can think of to do in our science area. Students can freely explore and use scientific tools to learn in this area. Our sensory bin builds fine motor skills by using tweezers and other small objects to help students become more familiar with their fine motor skills. This helps students to learn about the world around them, but also how to be curious, ask questions, and build team building skills as well.